Loneliness is that scary feeling you have in that pit of your stomach when you feel alone and you feel that no one gets you, no one understands you, and you feel like you're the only one going through this. There's 8 billion people in the world, and all of us have gone through this at some point or another, but never speak of it because no one wants to hear it and everyone just brushes it off. But not today. Today I'm going to talk to you about how you can cope with your loneliness or face your loneliness without ignoring it, reaching for something, trying to go out, trying to find friends, or maybe it will make your life a lot easier instead of struggling with your own self and your own thoughts and your own feelings. So stick around, I got some stories for you and other important tips that will help you. So for me, everything happened obviously when I was in middle school. I feel like that was the stomping ground, my testing, when you feel like you're gonna get tested. That's how it felt for me. And it was difficult because, like I said before, moving to a new place and getting to know people is hard, especially when people don't have the same interests as you and you're trying to get it, but everyone's like doing their own thing and you're like, where do I fit in? And that's where the feeling of loneliness came for me. It's a feeling that is unexplainable. Like, people would tell me to hang out with them and it would be cool, but I didn't have nothing in common. And I bet it's happened to you where you're like hanging out with people in school or you're new and you just want to make friends because you don't want to be that loner at the table. But once you do and you realize that you have nothing in common, you're like, what am I doing here? And you're zoning out and you're daydreaming. You're like, I don't have no idea what they're talking about, but I'm just going to go with it. Or you try to get into things that you're not even interested in just to be a part of that group. And eventually you realize, what do I want to do? Do I want to keep doing this, or do I want to just, figure it out on my own and find those people that I have in common? What I did is I just decided to go on my own and just was being myself, trying to figure everything out, reading. And it's hard to just be with yourself because we're not taught to be with ourselves. We're taught to be with a bunch of people, and it's okay to be with a bunch of people, but not all the time. I always see people being uneasy when they're alone. Like, they have to be with people. Like, I have to go out and I have to go meet other people, or I have to hang out with other people. I don't want to have this feeling, this uneasy feeling that I'm by myself. So let me ask you this question. Do you think that loneliness is a state of mind, or do you think it's a state of being? And the answer is, it's a state of mind. Because you never are by yourself, because you're surrounded with so many people. The reason is that those people don't have anything in common with you. But how do you do it? How do you feel better being by yourself without feeling that urge to go out or do something else? Find your own interests and find your own passions, because sometimes people get bored when they're alone. And that's what it is. And if you find your interest and you find your passion, you won't be as bored. Or if you read a book, you won't be as bored. And sometimes you don't even want to tell people how you feel, because they're going to be like, what? How are you by yourself? It's dumb. And it's true. So every time I feel that way, I'm like, okay, I think I feel, you have to call somebody, reach out, because there's always someone at the other end. There's always someone listening, unless you don't know anybody, but that's not true, because there's always people around. So call your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your cousins, your friends, or anything like that. You'll realize that what you were thinking wasn't really true, because it's just the mindset. Stop searching outside of yourself for people or things, mostly people obviously, because it's more of this is about loneliness, but find yourself before you find others. Because if you don't, you're always going to be chasing those people, and you're never going to find those people, because you don't really know what your interests are until you find what you're really searching for. Even in general, if you're like just cooped up in your house and you feel lonely or anything, just go outside and walk, and you'll see all these people, and they'll say hi to you, and you'll say hi to them. It's like you got fresh air, you went outside, and it's all good. And when you're alone, your mind wanders and it goes 1,000 miles per hour, trying to figure out what to do, what's next, what do I have to do to find someone, what do I have to do right now, do I have to go outside, do I have to clean? And the best thing to do is to be present with yourself and really know where you are at the moment and what you're doing at the moment. And it's okay to be by yourself for a small period of time. But just remember, out of those 9 billion people in the world, or 8 billion people in the world, there is always your group, your tribe waiting for you. And all you gotta do is just don't forget to reach out.